Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today for our Club Success Workshop. Sizzle or steak? We're going to have an answer for that question by the end of our time together today. I want to introduce to you our presenter, Alan Pickering. Alan is a longtime member of D25, having served as contest coordinator, Pathways ambassador and guide, alignment chair, and twice before in the role he is here today for corporate support chair. Oops, can't forget his crowning achievement, past first husband of District 25. Very important role. He has long been an advocate for transforming companies and managements from impediments to Toastmasters into active allies. Today's presentation is one he developed for me to sell the sizzle of Toastmasters to HR executives at Caterpillar. While it focused on corporations, the lessons it contains are directly applicable to community clubs in their efforts to recruit new members. One of the things I discovered as I was giving that presentation to Caterpillar was how effective the points that we're going to cover today are for every single Toastmaster in order to sell Toastmasters to anyone, the guy on the street, the family member who is curious, just to have those answers, to be able to engage in that conversation as often as possible, bringing in new members to our community clubs as well as our corporate clubs. And that's what we want to do. We want to build our membership back up to where it's healthy and we have as many people engaged in Toastmasters as wants to be. So I present to you this morning, Alan Pickering.
Thank you, Denise. Let me start the slideshow here. Oh, I have to press the correct button. All right. And I still want to see everybody, so where is that? Never mind. Can everybody hear my wife presenting right next door to me? I guess my microphone is good. Why, Zoom, did you take away seeing all the people? Anyway, all right. Unlocking corporate potential with Toastmasters, empowering employees, elevating business performance. I don't know how often folks have seen Toastmasters pitched this way, and I think that's an oversight. The Toastmasters packs such a punch and can absolutely transform performance amongst all members of any organization, as all of us well know as Toastmasters for multiple years. So this presentation, as Denise mentioned, its audience is to executive leadership teams at any organization, a corporation or a nonprofit, university, or a government agency. So I've renamed my title. I crossed out corporate from corporate support chair, and I am the organizational club support chair for D25. Since Denise is in charge of growing all clubs and I'm just focusing on organizations, she's going to be pitching in most slides to help translate how does this, the information that's being presented, how does it translate to the community club? She'll keep me honest.
Feel free to raise your hands if you have a question as we go along, okay? And we'll call on you.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the executive leadership team, what stops you from capitalizing on all of the brilliant ideas your employees have? Your employees are your most valuable resource. Their dedication, their efforts, their ideas drive performance at Corporation XYZ. So what stops you? Fear. Plain and simple. You never hear the majority of their good, great, and fantastic ideas due to fear. The
Well,
fear, go ahead, Denise.
no, finish.
Uh, that fear comes from a lack of confidence, maybe not in their ability to accomplish things, but just in their ability to communicate it. In by and large, most people are not comfortable hearing their own voice echo off the walls in a room full of other people. So it's fear that drives it.
Okay. Now, it's said that public speaking is one of the greatest fears that every single person, every single human being has. So this is not just in the corporate world. Have you been to an event and heard a speaker that had excellent content, but their presentation was so distracting that you only got a portion of what they had to say? Take the opportunity to walk up to them, to thank them for giving their speech, for the information that they had, and ask them, have you ever heard of Toastmasters? I would love for you to come and do your presentation at our club. It's a great way to bring people in, especially when you're in situations where they're already doing what we are learning how to do well. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, you're good at this job. All right, your employees or any guests at a community club likely lack the confidence to speak in meetings. They likely lack communication skills to effectively express their ideas, especially, I'm not a fan of using the term these days, but especially these days. Ever since COVID, our interaction with people has transformed to more digital, and I don't mean video digital like this, uh, but to text instead of voice and listening. In any organization, in any performance, poor communication skills likely cost money. Certainly do inside a corporation. And Denise and I were just recently, earlier this year, we were at a company, Corber, I believe it was, and they said they wanted to establish a Toastmasters group because they had already, the executive board had already found that communication was costing them thousands. And most folks definitely lack leadership competencies.
Every person, I would like for you to, all of these apply to individuals as well as in work settings. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people just need the encouragement to grow their skills, to know that they can be better. And as Alan mentioned about Corber, they chartered at the end of October, and I've been attending their meetings, and it has been amazing to see just the excitement of the members coming and giving speeches. Before even they got the charter got completed, people would come and give their icebreaker speech, and they're starting to work the Pathways program, and they're learning about each other and sharing with us the difference that it's making in the way that they interact as a group across disciplines within the company, that they're forming friendships in a whole different way. And that's one of the beauties of Toastmasters. Like in our community clubs, you invite people to come in, you make new friends, and you grow your interests, and you have people who learn what you are and pull things out of us. Go ahead, Alan.
All right, so what do we do about all of these problems? As a 30-year veteran of problem solving, Introduce Toastmasters. This slide is packed full of stuff. It violates the rule of having a PowerPoint presentation because there's too much text. But at any rate, these are the things that you can cover with anybody that you were talking to about Toastmasters. Stress that it is a 100-year-old worldwide nonprofit organization. Why do we want to stress that? Because that longevity means something about it works. It would not have lasted this long otherwise. Toastmasters, as we all know, is organized around helping members improve their communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. And what Toastmasters is a self-organizing group of individuals in a company or organization. That's important. The company needs to understand that they don't have to drive it. It will be driven by their employees that are participating. Self-organizing group of individuals forming a positive and supportive community where they do public speaking is developed and honed in experiential setting. Experiential is vital for us to talk about in Toastmasters. Many people, companies that I've presented to, they resist something that is every single week. Why doesn't the training conclude? Well, it's not training. It's the gym. If you want to strengthen your communication muscles, if you want to strengthen your leadership muscles, you have to go to the gym, which is your Toastmasters program. The rest of the points there, and obviously this PowerPoint will be provided to everybody, and Denise, we really ought to get it up on d25.org. And then second half of the slide, man, that is annoying. Evidently Zoom has updated things and I haven't presented in a wee bit. I keep seeing this flashing text thing. Alan Pickering is talking. I know I'm talking. Sorry. Back to the subject. Focus, Alan. The program focuses on 1 hour meetings, hopefully weekly. That is composed of PIE, prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, and evaluation, which is feedback. And is led by a Toastmaster of the day, and that bit there opens you up to describing the rest of the roles for that make a meeting work, and stress that it rotates every week so people get experience doing different things, running the meeting.
And the beauty of this slide is really to give you talking points so that you can have the sales when you are selling Toastmasters, so you know about the international organization, and then bring it down to what's the formula that allows this to work so effectively in every single meeting. And I love that Alan says that Toastmasters is the gym. It is, because how many diets have we all been on? And it may have given us results in the moment, but it did not last the lifetime. Toastmasters is just you're getting better at this skill all the time. And it gives you options. It gives you the opportunity to grow in ways and places that you cannot even consider where you are. It grows with you and allows you to grow with it. So you have an opportunity that shows up down the road to give a keynote. And I've had this opportunity to be, you would be terrified, even if you're an expert at the content. If you don't have the presentation skills, that's a setup for disaster. When you're in Toastmasters and you have an opportunity come up that allows you to step into a role that you've not done before, but you have the skills to be able to do it, it's a greater chance to say yes and to move forward. So Toastmasters is the gym. It's preparing for the future, and you're always practicing and preparing. So when the opportunities show up, you can step into them.
Absolutely. One thing to note, if you are talking to a corporation in particular, it might be applicable to nonprofits or an agency, definitely an agency. Referring to Toastmasters as a club organization may cut you off at the knees. Club sounds like recreation, not work. So translate that into calling it, bring a Toastmasters program into your organization. Program, and program also reinforces that experiential weekly, it's the gym thing for selling the Sizzle, and encourage your corporate members that you are talking to in any club in your roles as coaches or mentors. Yeah, get them to just transform it into it's the Toastmasters program where we meet weekly. Hopefully it's weekly. There we go. All right, testimonial time. Through engagement in Toastmasters, me personally, learned to lead people and manage their efforts, which I now do professionally. I learned to communicate effectively, to express my ideas, which I do often. I'm the sole person that will speak up in a meeting when feedback is solicited. And I practiced the self-confidence to do both. I am an introvert. I know nobody in D25 that has ever met me believes me, or Jamie, but I'm an introvert. I want to be the wallflower. I don't want to be noticed. Please don't call me out. No, well, I've gained the self-confidence in order to actually perform, and then I just need to go away and not be around any people or speak at all to recharge. Unlike somebody like Jesse, who's energized by all this interaction. Self-confidence is not a skill. It cannot be learned. One must experience success in order to gain confidence. I'm going to let out Toastmasters' big secret, and the police may come bust down my door. We don't do Toastmasters in order to do public speaking. Public speaking is just the tool that we use to give people successes in something that they find extremely challenging so that they build their self-confidence. Nicole keeps joining.
That's an excellent point, Alan, because people,
Thank you.
Sometimes you'll get the objection to joining Toastmasters. Well, I don't really need to speak. I don't need to. I'm not afraid. People are thinking of what we do in Toastmasters, but what we do in Toastmasters develops skills that we can use. It's not, I don't do presses when I do my workout so I can do presses. I do presses so I can build the muscle. So when I need to pick up something heavy, I have the balance to do it and be successful and not hurt myself. And that's what Toastmasters does.
And you go from the self-testimonial, talking about self-confidence and, even point number one, lead people, to reinforcing the Toastmasters tagline, Toastmasters International, where leaders are made. And then I personally make the self-testimonial again that I am a leader and I was made. I was not a leader before Toastmasters at all. I did not look people in the eye when passing in the hall. I stared at the ground. And that was all the way till, I was 37 years old. Um, this organization, or my participation, my engagement in this organization changed me for the better, much better. In a corporate, sorry, Denise, go ahead.
I want someone to share with me what are some of the, as we're talking about these different points. Jenny, I really appreciate you sharing your testimonies in the chat. But what's a question you have or a challenge that you've run into in presenting Toastmasters to someone? Okay, Jenny.
As you and Alan were speaking, one of the challenges I feel like I have in my club is listen to that, two is trying to get the higher level people in my organization to just come and check it out. For instance, the people that impact are having Toastmasters, like our HR group. And just, I don't expect them necessarily to join, but I want them to know what we're doing. And luckily our sponsor is a very high level person. So she really tries to pass the word, but I'd like them to just come and see it. I think they would really understand the value if they just visited a meeting. And so what are your suggestions and tips for that?
One suggestion I have, and I think this applies to anyone that you want to come and they won't, keep asking, keep inviting them. I think even if they're willing to come just so you can quit, that's worth it. Keep asking people, inviting them to come. At some point, they're going to say yes. And you never know when that point is. So don't give up. Just keep asking. Because what happens is sometimes we've got to do things many times before it really gets on someone's radar, because they'll run into someone else who's talking about Toastmasters, and now they have context for that conversation that, again, will draw them in. So don't give up, keep asking. Ruth, did you have a comment you wanted to share?
I just shared that that's what got me there, to get them to stop inviting me.
Me too. That's the only reason I went, was to shut him up.
Okay, thanks for that. Okay, Alan.
That's hilarious. Oh. Sorry, every now and then I have to check the battery level on this laptop since I messed up and didn't hook up the power. Toastmasters, and this comes directly from the Toastmasters International website. That graphic down there, I stole it from them, and same with the text. Actually, no, maybe not, but that first paragraph probably did. But let me show you where this information is and where my next slide is. All right. So we have the Toastmasters International website. And if you scroll down, tailor the program to you, trust the organization that's trusted by companies worldwide. There's the graphic. It should look familiar because it's up on my screen. And this link right here, all tiny. Oh goodness, this is an incredible link. If we go here, this is excellent information for you to have in your back pocket, or just in your maybe the 10-minute explanation of what Toastmasters is when you're trying to convince an organization. But this video, it's 3 minutes long, I believe, is spectacular. Now it's in YouTube, so it'll play a commercial first. but I highly suggest everybody go out and play this video, unless Denise, you want me to play it
No, I
now,
don't.
because I don't think
want
my
you to.
sound will work.
No, I think that this showing, and while it is intended for corporations, there are individuals on here who are giving their testimony, so it totally works for individuals as well, because everybody's got some kind of work situation or professional situation that they're involved in, and this gives personal testimonies of how people have been able to gain benefit from Toastmasters personally, as well as applying it in their particular work situation.
Minimize that, get back to the PowerPoint here. So Toastmasters is nothing trifling. You can mention the local companies that have Toastmasters and local agencies. FEMA has a club. What are some of the others, Denise? I mean, Lockheed had several. BNSF,
Yes.
as we've discussed before the meeting, has 2. Mr. Cooper has
BNSF?
several. BNSF, who's
Yeah.
the Mercedes?
Yes.
Or Daimler Chrysler. Yeah, IBM. Yeah, there's tons of them.
Even community like
Rackspace has? Wow.
The Mansfield city management team is collaborating with Salesmark, I believe is the name of the company, to have a community Toastmasters club where the company and the city is collaborating. We have universities that have Toastmasters clubs in them. So there's no institutional area that could not benefit, because Toastmasters is a skill that every human being benefits from. So if you're benefiting your people, you're benefiting the overall organization, and that includes the community. As a matter of fact, when I was presenting this PowerPoint for Caterpillar, we discovered that they had over 30 clubs in the Caterpillar organization around the world.
Worldwide.
And so that was information we were able to share with them, with this group. The headquarters is in Irving, and they're the ones who contacted us to start their club. And so we were able to share with them that, hey, you guys, Caterpillar is already benefiting from this around the world. And that was a really cool information to be able to provide.
Well, the coolest bit was there was a Caterpillar employee decades ago, was the past international president.
Wow.
So
Yes.
had served as an ID, and then went through all 4 or 5 TI offices.
Yes.
So
Yes.
led the organization. That had to be a good pitch there at Caterpillar. But so I guess my point here, particularly when you're at an organization, at an institution, do a little homework and find out, are there Toastmasters? Because you can reach out to any Toastmaster in the world and they're going to answer, because we're all Toastmasters.
Yes.
They might be able to help you. They might give you insight on how to situations on the ground, even if they're like a past employee. It is something that can help immensely.
And you'll find that Toastmasters make their way to the top of organizations. So if you've got a past Toastmaster, it's a high likelihood that they have sat in some of the top seats at the organization.
Yes. I mean, it's, leadership.
Yes.
Go figure. This slide is another violation of my general rule, but it is something that if you leave the slide with them, cat, the tail just walked in front of me. Yeah, just interrupting Jamie's presentation now. But this slide is packed full of various points on what does Toastmasters do for, or why do one at any organization? What are the skills that members develop? and what are the benefits to the company? What's in it for the company or organization? It is very cost-effective training. It's something you don't have to invest any management and oversight time in. When employees are better communicators, it enhances the image of the company, reduces that amount of cringe that might happen if one of your employees ends up on TV for something. And it will reduce turnover. Employees that have experienced success in Toastmasters and then they bring it to their job, they're going to have better job satisfaction. I believe one of the statistics out there is it costs a company to replace you, it costs them 3 times your annual salary.
Yeah. Yes.
So
And
that turnover thing is big.
And not the turnover is big, but also, again, as a Toastmaster, we tend to develop skills that raise the value of our engagement in our company. So when they lose you as an employee, they're losing more than just, you know, a low level or a poor performer, right? Because Toastmasters help us improve our performance skills because we get past some of that fear factor. So that's a big deal, to be able to engage at a higher level just in what you're doing. Now, as Alan said, this slide has got a lot of stuff on it, and everything on here doesn't apply in every situation, but we wanted to put all of this information in one place so you can be strategic and select what's going to be the most effective item on here for the person that you're addressing, so that you've got some awareness of these different areas, like enhanced image. A strong communication skill represents the company well. So, but a strong communication skills allow you to communicate your thoughts and ideas in an effective and more impactful way. That's what we do when we do Toastmasters, right? We're able to communicate, to put our thoughts together in the moment and communicate it in a clear, impactful way. Now, do we do that every single time? No, we don't. But we have that training and we are building that muscle. So when we get a table topics question, we know what to do with it and we know how to respond. So, you know, just this particular slide just has a lot of information on it, but, you know, just familiarize yourself with what are some of the outputs of the input that we have. We can talk about critical thinking skills, you know, problem solving and decision making, a supportive environment. That's one of the things that we develop in Toastmasters, based on our projects that we do, or even projects that other people do that include us. So that's what this is a slide to keep in your back pocket, because then you can be very strategic in which point you are bringing to the forefront, or that you get a question on and you can put together a really good table topics response. Okay, Alan.
All right, so I made the claim that it is incredibly cost effective. Well, here's the very affordable value of Toastmasters. Everything that we promised happens. To form a club, it costs $125 to form a program, to establish a program. That guarantees you access to the Pathways program, or any of the members. It guarantees them access to the Pathways program, which is the coursework for everything that Toastmasters does. That's not an annual cost, it's one time only, and you do have to have a minimum of 20 members, but we don't want to ever do the minimum. Aim for 30. 30 members is a very healthy, active Toastmasters program level. It guarantees that that's probably 15 people at every single meeting, and that covers all of the roles very, very well, and gets all the goodness packed into that 1 hour. For the members, it costs them $120 per per member per year, and an additional $20 per path that they select per goal. And that would give you the chance to talk about pathways and the paths and all the titles, which none of them I can remember right now. Engaging humor was one, but I don't suggest that one at the corporate executive.
Presentation mastery.
Yeah, there you go. And the time investment should only be 1 hour per week. Speeches, the members, they prepare on their own time, not company time, unless you want them to. Officers can meet over lunch, and that's part of that self-organizing bit of the Toastmasters program. And if to further anybody's leadership development, we highly suggest they get involved outside of your own program and experience things in the wider Toastmasters universe and enter district leadership as an area director or serve as a conference chair or give a presentation, give a keynote, give a 1 hour workshop. And that's a way for your members to network and perhaps make a good impression that can recruit people into your organization.
Okay.
Always trying to make it look like there's a benefit to the organization.
Now, on the personal side, Toastmasters is $60 for 6 months. Basically, it's a $10 a month commitment and an additional $20 per path. So let's say you're going to join Toastmasters and you want to complete a path in 1 year, which is a very ambitious goal, mind you. We're talking $140 for the year. If you put aside, right, $12 a month, you just, 2 lattes, or I don't even know what those cost anymore. It probably doesn't even require 2 lattes that you sacrifice. And you just have a little jar and you keep dropping the money in there. It is not a stretch. Or you can ask for it as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. There's so many ways and opportunities to do that, but you're giving something to yourself. I believe that we can complete, if you go to the community college and take 1 class, you cannot achieve what we do in Toastmasters in our regular weekly meetings. A lot of times classes are online, but in our clubs, you get not only the experience, you get real-time, in-time feedback, right? Because of the way our meetings are set up. Now, and you get the encouragement of being a part of a group that's going to help you move forward. So you get scheduled. Now, some people are really disciplined and they set a goal and they meet the goal. And some of us, and I include myself in that, need help. So you're being asked to give a speech. What's your next project? You get a mentor that can help you to achieve, to progress and to move forward. So the investment, you get way, way, way more back. And, we are all volunteers. So it's a level playing field. You can, and the leadership opportunities within the club, as well as within the larger district, are many. And again, you're developing those skills that you can turn around and use in your everyday life and realize opportunities for growth in your own life in things that are of great interest to you. So even this is for the chartering a club, what Alan had on the screen there is for chartering a club, but on the individual side, it is a very doable expense. Now, and some people, I'm saying doesn't feel doable to everyone, but I think if we break it down, that can be very helpful and encourage people to come in. And once they come in and they're experiencing the program in its full, I think people tend to stay, because I'd say most of us on here have been in Toastmasters a while. I know it's been 15 years for me, and I have learned and grown so much personally, and have gotten so many incredible friends who have helped me to not be so afraid. Just being able to have the courage to step out that's an amazing gift. So,
Well, even more than that, I mean, Jamie and I, we vacation with fellow Toastmasters in Mexico. I mean, it just forms good friendships and bonds.
yes.
All right.
Any
Sorry.
questions or comments at this point on the
Please.
cost? What are some objections that you've heard concerning the cost?
In mineral wells, we do have some populations that struggle, and we've reached out to try to encourage them to get started. And we have members who are willing to help with that fee.
Uh-huh.
And I know initially we'll like sometimes sponsor other members for a year or for
Uh-huh.
a season until they're able to do it themselves. But I know that our treasurer has pointed out that as a club, we're not allowed to give scholarships. And so I was just wanting to kind of verify that that's the only way we could do that.
Ah, that's a good question. I will have to get the answer to that, unless someone on the call knows the answer to that question.
Yes, clubs are not allowed to sponsor anyone, period, because that is not a proper use of funds because it does not benefit all of the members.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, you have to set up a special fund inside your club or know people in the club who were willing to do that. And I know a lot of clubs that do that, but they cannot do it out of the club funds at all.
Okay.
Thanks, DJ.
Something new every day.
Good question. Yes. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Denise,
Okay,
I've been treasurer for so many times, I could almost do it in my sleep.
Thanks, DJ.
All right. In any program or Toastmasters club, there is volumes of support from District 25. District 25 is the local organization that, well, I mean, it exists in order to support all the clubs and members within the North Texas area. There is one person on the call right now who is dedicated to assisting with the paperwork for setting up a club, because despite our focus on communications, sometimes that chartering process is a little obscure. When a club is just starting out, we provide up to two experienced Toastmasters to mentor the fledgling program so that it has the best chance of succeeding. There is always an area director that will support. Every year is a new area director, and perhaps some of your people could move on to become an area director and support others, which is, again, that experiential thing. It puts them in a leadership role where, you know, there's nothing on the line, no money's being risked, but they are trying out the leadership thing, and then they come back to your organization and become better leaders. There's a dedicated team. I lead this team of organizational support for aiding programs at organizations, forging the connection with the mother organization. A lot of time, or most times, most clubs don't have so much of a relationship with their organization, and that's what we're here to help transform, so that the company is invested, maybe not financially, but the company is invested in the success of the Toastmasters program and the members within it. We're required to provide training and education multiple times per year, both for the individual program leaders the officers of the program, and in general, just the members that can attend any of our workshops and trainings. There's access to Toastmasters handbooks and templates, digital handbooks, such as this PowerPoint slide, through our district website. And district representatives provide feedback, evaluations to your program as they encounter members, as they maybe even are a guest at one of your periodic meetings. We do conferences 2 times a year, and then we also have a year-end celebration, which sounds frivolous and recreational, yes, but these things, the conferences included, these are networking events. These are places where your members, your employees, your coworkers can present your organization and put it in a very good light. And that even allows them to, in a way, do recruiting for you.
Okay,
And
so let's apply these to our community or individual clubs, right? The onboarding is the program charter support. That's really your onboarding for your new member, getting the applications completed and becoming a new member. The program mentor, it's a great opportunity within the club to have this same kind of where we mirror this, right? You put your new members with a mentor so that they understand, they learn the Toastmasters way. What does the meeting order? What does that represent? What are the different roles? How to get into pathways? How to schedule yourself for speaking opportunities and the different roles within the club. Someone who is coming regularly, attending regularly, and making progress within their program. The area director support, it's help. It's like having the membership person help them to, well, the membership person usually does outside membership, but they also take care of the members within the club, right? So you're having that support from the VP of Education in signing up for your speech, inviting you, encouraging you, and your mentor as well, coming alongside to do that. The organizational support team, that would be equivalent to your officers, right? That's helping that new member integrate into the club. The training and education, again, your VP of Ed, again, or the mentor. So we have multiple people that are engaging with our new members so that they feel a part. They understand how to be successful, and they have the support they need to be successful in moving forward. That's the reason why we put 2 mentors with each new club for 6 months. And as a mentor, as a club mentor, you get credit towards your DTM. That's one of the credit points towards your DTM. And right now we've got mentor opportunities in person and online. So if you want to be a mentor, reach out to me. Lots of resource material. Now, the resource material that we have, especially in D25, our website is a tremendous resource, but it can be a little overwhelming for a new person. That you've got the D25 website, we've got the Toastmasters International website. It can be a lot. So, just to kind of bring people in a little bit at a time, but you want them to be solidified in their membership and in their participation. And if once they become an officer, then you want them to go to TLI training and, just having conversations with the club about all of the opportunities and what are the benefits of those opportunities. So you have people engaging at a higher level. And we want to build our club membership to a healthy place where no one feels like they're carrying a huge load, right? And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, is so to give you some tips and ideas and address some of the issues that you're experiencing to be able to increase your club membership. Okay, networking events. There are incentives that we give for participating with other clubs, networking with other clubs, doing joint projects, coming to the district events. There's just a lot of support, and sometimes we can see that as a burden, and not a support. So if we can help with this list to help when someone needs help, we can identify what's the easiest accessible and the most effective support area that we can point them to. Then you're not trying to do everything just within the club. You're reaching out to your area director, you're reaching out to your division director. We have a very large support system in place. And I think sometimes we don't, we're not thinking about what are the resources that are available that we can pull in to help us with what we're doing. Okay. So again, you'll get a copy of this PowerPoint so that you have this list and refer back to it, and maybe take it back to your club as an officer or as an area director to be able to provide these kinds of input to your club. Okay. All right, Alan.
All right, this slide is the key. You have to make the ask, and this is applicable universally where Toastmasters is concerned. In this situation, Denise at Caterpillar was asking them to invest in their employees' growth and development, to approve the formation of a Toastmasters program in order to get all those benefits, to support a culture of continuous improvement by fostering this safe, supportive space for employees to practice public speaking and leadership skills, and to commit to long-term organizational success. It helps their leadership pipeline. So let's build your leaders of tomorrow starting today. I think and I know Denise will enhance this significantly here in a moment, but this is the same pitch that you need to make to any individual member in any club, any individual guest. You have to ask them and make sure that they know you want them to join. All the members want them to join, because their presence enhances the club in general. And I don't have my notes to stress anything further, but Denise, anything here on the pitch? I mean, this is so important, and people miss doing it.
It is important. You know how we said keep inviting people? When you have guests come, keep asking them, would you like to join? Ask them, what would prevent you from joining our club? Hear from them. Give them the opportunity to think through it. It's easy to say, no, I'm not ready, but ask the question. Okay, do you have any interest in joining our club? I mean, if they keep coming, or if they come, they had some interest. What is it that you were looking for that we can address for you that you may not have seen? So always ask, be curious, and don't ask as if, you're like, I need you to join right now. I need you to join right now. It's not that. It's you're being curious about what it is that drew them and what it is that they're looking for. Because sometimes we come, again, because somebody said, kept inviting me. And I'm like, okay, let me just go.
There's pizza available.
I can quit getting the invite. But then when you come, what did you enjoy about our meeting? What are some things that you may have questions about? So make sure that you ask them to join, even asking all of those questions so that you can hear where they are, and always ask them, would you be interested in joining our club? We would love to have you. And if they say no, and they come back, ask again. Don't be afraid to ask people to join your club. I don't think that it's a negative thing, right? You're giving them an opportunity of a lifetime. And even if they don't necessarily know that in the moment, every single one of us on this call, I'm sure, would say, wow, I am so glad I joined Toastmasters.
Absolutely. One sales tactic, I guess, even though I hate using the term sales, but one tactic is before you ask them to join, before you ask the organization to commit, ask what value do they see in what Toastmasters offers. You get them to say it would be valuable in these ways, and then you ask them to join. It gets them thinking in a positive light first, and then ask, throw the pitch. All right.
Okay.
And then questions, Denise.
Yes. Any questions, comments she'd like to share? If everyone could come off of mute and share with us.
I'll make the comment that you've given me a lot of ideas, so I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. I'm so glad that was our intent. Our heart's desire is to equip our Toastmasters, our club leaders, our area directors, so that we have some tools, add some new tools to add to our toolbox, so that when we find ourselves in situation, because sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where there's an opportunity, and I want you to feel comfortable and confident to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that show up, but also to be intentional about creating opportunities. Right? That's the plan. Thank you so much, Ruth. Anyone else? Any questions or comments? We'd love to hear from you.
I like the idea of using the terminology program instead of club, because that pulls it out of, it puts you in an entirely different light, especially for corporate clubs and even community clubs, because if you're looking at a program, it's more, it gives it more of an educational flair to it than it does a networking or enjoyable situation.
Thanks, DJ. Clara, did you have something you wanted to share?
To say thanks so much for this training. It was so informative. I did learn a lot. I've not set up a corporate club. I've not set up a club. I joined a club. I've been learning a lot over the past year since my joining Toastmasters last year. And this information you presented is quite valuable, and I definitely think I'm going to put it to use. At my workplace, there used to be a corporate club. I don't know what really transpired with the corporate club. And I think.
You want me to text them? You want me to text them?
Jenny, you're not muted.
I think it's worthy pursuing that, because I really see about 2-3 colleagues have asked me about Toastmasters, because they know I'm a Toastmaster, and I think it's an opportunity to set up a corporate club, especially in the Dallas, Texas area. That would definitely go a long way for my company and for my colleagues who have been struggling with communication, presenting themselves, presenting ideas in meeting. Every other meeting I attend, you can count the number of hours, gap fillers you get through, and you're like, if all those people can just come to Toastmasters, they can make their presentation flow and very much likable. Thanks so much.
I'm glad you said that, and I made this comment before you came in. I think that's a great opportunity to go up to them and say, I loved your content. It was so valuable to me. I am a part of a Toastmasters club where we work on becoming effective, powerful communicators, and I'd love to invite you to come visit my club.
Definitely a good idea. Thank you.
One
Okay.
last thing for me to promote. Most all of what I have learned came from this book. Focus.
There.
There. This is available from the TI site, through the TI store. It is a past international president's book. She wrote on how to build and sustain vibrant Toastmasters programs in corporations. The entire idea, calling it a program instead of a club, not mine. It's Pat Johnson's. So the key word is vibrant. I don't think there's anything else in the store that contains the word vibrant. So just go to the store and search vibrant.
Thanks, Jesse. You just put the link in the
Good, thank you. Because I was trying to find the item number, and it's not actually on the darn book.
And we'll include that when we send out the link to the recording and the information from this Club Success Workshop session. We'll include that link as well. Okay. So because we want you guys to be well supported and to have great tools. And I want to encourage you. We are the Club Success part where we are doing the marketing and the growing our growing new clubs and supporting our existing clubs to be healthy and strong. So any questions you have, any idea you have, any information you're needing, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself. I've got a team of people. Alan is heading up our corporate support area, and we want to equip you. We want to support you. We want to encourage you, because honestly, we are all on the same team. So, and we have resources. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Okay. Alan, do you have anything else that we want to present?
Nope, I don't believe so.
Okay. Jesse, District Director, do you have any comments that you want to make?
No, I just want to say thank you again to both you and Alan for this wonderful workshop. I know the district will greatly benefit. I'm glad that we recorded it so that we can share it later, and great information today. Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse. Thank you all for coming, and tell your friends, go check it out. Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And if you have the opportunity to attend our Christmas party 1 to 4 this afternoon, please come join us. The address and information is on the Toastmasters and is on our events calendar and on Toastmasters website. So we'd love to see you again.